Hi guys, Lindsay here with Storybook Family Farm. So, over the past few weeks, Tracy and I have both been feeling pretty much perpetually exhausted. Um, like, I had thought that maybe I was starting to become depressed a little bit, but we took Sunday off. Normally we have a market on every other Sunday, and we actually took Sunday off just because we're so stinking tired and so exhausted from working so hard and doing so much stuff, and just honestly just we couldn't take anymore. Um, and then we also found out that we don't have a market on tomorrow, which is Thursday, which we normally have one every Thursday. So this week would have been, and last week kind of would have been like a 4 market week for us. And when we have 4 markets in a week, we are just completely and utterly dreading it, because it's so taxing energetically. And we're just, because not only are we baking the bread and doing all of the stuff with the bread, we also have a full functioning farm, and we're working on renovating our house, and we're working on cleaning up all the massive amounts of trash that have been left here for ages. It's been really hard. So yesterday I was actually talking to a friend, and I told her about how we took Sunday off, that we actually texted the market manager and said, hey, we can't do it this week and stuff. And she was like, that's good, you guys need to take a break. And then I said to her, I was like, even with taking that day off, I still feel incredibly burnt out. And when I spoke that out loud, I mean, I was texting, so it wasn't out loud, but you know what I mean. When I got that out and had that realization that, I'm not just overwhelmed and stressed out and that sort of a thing. It's a combination of all the things. It's a combination of being stressed about money and the economy and things like that. Because if you haven't figured this out, when you sell stuff for a living, if the economy dips down and nosedives, so do your sales. So we're pouring every piece of us into our business and into selling the bread and doing these markets. And quite honestly, each week, because things are all the rates of inflation, I haven't changed my prices at all this year. I'm selling everything the exact same prices last year to try to help out and to give people a bit of a break and stuff, because I couldn't justify making it more expensive. It didn't feel right and stuff. But right now, with the rate of inflation, everything is it's at an all-time high. For my lifetime, it is just, everything is ridiculous. Everything is high. Everything is hard. So we're still seeing a lot of people coming through at the farmer's market, but not a lot of people are spending money, which is not good for us and stuff. Each week at every market, it's not just one market, it's a bad week. It's literally all 3 of the markets that we do every week. It's doom, 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 every week. So we're incredibly stressed out about money. We're stressed out about, it starting to get cold out. It's not like wintertime isn't here or anything like that, but there's a lot of stuff that we have to do to our house before winter comes. We do not have a furnace. We have a wood burner that still needs put in. So not only are we working on cutting wood and doing all this stuff for the wood, we also still have to put in a wood burner. We have so many things that we have to do and stuff. The house has a lot of little gaps and cracks and things like that need filled in, so that way we don't have a big pest problem. There's work that needs to be done to the barn that I'm standing in right now that has to be done before it gets cold out and stuff. And so I had thought that I was just incredibly overwhelmed. But then when I mentioned to my friend about that I still feel burnt out, it's a light bulb went off in my head, and I realized it's not that I'm just overwhelmed, stressed, frustrated, and tired. It's that it's all compounding on top of each other on my shoulders, and it's really hard. It's hard to keep filming. It's hard to keep being, happy and smiley and friendly and stuff at the markets when, when I'm at the market, I feel like I should be at home doing work, so that way I don't feel so overwhelmed with all the things that I have to do. But then when I'm at home working on stuff, I feel like I should be at the market trying to make money, because we need money to survive. So it's just this constant battle between both sides of what do I focus on. Because right now, like today, after I got done baking bread and stuff for the market, which this video is going to be short because I have to get scooting, hence why I'm wearing my market shirt and stuff. after I got done baking the bread today, I told Tracy, like, I was like, tears were like welling up in my eyes, and she's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm going outside. Like, I kind of like snapped on her and stuff, because it's like I couldn't get the words to basically state, I need time in nature, I need time alone, I need time to go hug this mega massive tree that's in our woods, just so that way I can like feel grounded and safe and stuff, and not so panicked and stuff. Because honestly, like, with everything that's like coming down the pike and stuff, and seeing firsthand, like, for the last 2 years I've been selling my bread at the same exact price. Last week I had, at one market, I had 3 different people make a comment about the price and trying to talk me down in price, not just by like $1, not just like, hey, will you make a deal if I get multiples and stuff. No, somebody was like, would you take $3? I sell the loaves for $5. Okay, that happened 3 times on Saturday. Like, that hasn't happened. Like, and like, we have always been low income. Like, we ain't too proud to beg. Like, you know, like, we're not too proud to admit that, you know, we've struggled and stuff, and that we've struggled hard. That's part of why we homestead, is so we don't have to worry so much about where our food's coming from and if we can afford good food or not. Is because we're basically working ourselves like crazy to provide our own food. So that way we have good food and we don't have to worry about like, how is this going to come to us? Because there was times in our lives where my grandpa, okay, he's deceased and stuff, but he would just randomly like show up at our house when we were like, crap, like, we don't have enough food, we don't have enough resources, we don't know how we're going to feed the kids, we don't know how we're going to keep going on. And then all of a sudden Grandpa would pull in and have, like, he had like a big like Crown Vic, so like a really big old people car, you know. He would have his trunk completely filled with like canned goods and staples and meat and stuff. Like, he would bring us eggs all the time, and he would bring us beef from his cows and stuff. Like, that's honestly how we survived, was because of my grandpa and stuff. And like, now it's like everything's so different now, because back then we were just struggling financially because Tracy's job did not pay enough money to, you know, make it so we had any breathing room. Now, like, everything is so incredibly expensive that it's very dangerous, treacherous, scary, sketchy waters that the collective is having to swim in right now. And it scares the bejesus out of me. Like, to be quite frank. Like, I've been holding all of that in for a long time and trying to just, you know, stay strong and just keep trudging ahead and powering through all of this and stuff. But honestly, we're terrified. Like, Tracy's scared, I'm scared, and it's really hard to admit the level of nervousness and uncomfortable and stressedness that is within me about what is happening and stuff. Because like, for us, due to our lifestyle, due to our skill set, we've pretty much ensured that like, we're always going to have something to eat and stuff, even if it's just me recognizing wild mushrooms that are growing in the woods, which while I was on my nature walk, I found quite a few, and tomorrow we're going to go harvest some mushrooms, but which I might bring you guys along. But like, you know, when you have a different lifestyle, you can always figure out ways to stretch things and to make things work and to grow different things and to, you know, different ways to do different stuff. And you can find, you know, deals on food that, you know, like things that are seconds that have to be processed right away that will not stay good for 2 days and stuff. You know, when you have a skill set that you know how to can and do those things and how to freeze food and preserve food, dehydrate food, it makes it so that way you don't have to worry so much about food, because somebody's always looking to get rid of something, like, you know, like a 50-foot long zucchini that they accidentally grew. You know, clearly that's an overstatement, but you get the point and stuff. But like, I'm not necessarily concerned about our food. I'm concerned about other people. I'm not necessarily concerned about us keeping the lights on, because honestly, we got candles. So if things got that bad, we just use candles. Like, I mean, what else are you gonna do? But like, to be honest though, like, because I'm getting off track, like, when I talked to my friend, I realized that I am severely burnt out, and that's not a good place to be in when your whole entire lifestyle is everything. Because we don't just sell bread. we sell goods from our homestead. We don't just go and sell bread and come home and relax. We work here too. Like, it's never ending and it's never stopping. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you have extra energy to spare, we could really use some sent our way, because we're struggling. We're struggling to keep up. We're struggling to keep going. We're struggling to keep our heads in the game, to just keep tunnel visioning ahead, to keep going with the whole bread thing. And like, I know that we have the whole thing coming down with fresh time and all that stuff, that we can get our bread in there, but that's still a ways off. Like, we still have all the paperwork to do, and all sorts of stuff. And like, honestly, I'm glad that it's going to take a hot minute for that, because right now I'm like, I have too much in my mouth to chew now. Like, I can't do any more than I'm already doing and stuff. So yeah, stay tuned to see if we end up having mental breakdowns. I'm just kidding. Like, we'll be fine and stuff. We'll just scrape different things off of the plate. And like, we've even, to be quite honest, like, we've even talked about, Tracy potentially going back to getting a different job, like to getting a traditional job, so that way we're not putting so much pressure on ourselves to sell the bread and to sell our products. Because if people aren't coming to the markets to buy our goods, we can't pay our bills. Like, and we don't even have that many bills, and we're already like stressing about it. So I mean, clearly things are getting kind of sketchy and stuff. But yeah, so I'm gonna end this here, so that way I came out to the barn to get more feed for the chicks. We have not, due to raining so much and stuff, we have not had a chance to put them in the rabbit tractor that we have worked on setting up for them. I don't want them because they're really small still. They're, about about 4 or 5 inches tall. So they're pretty small. And I don't want them to risk drowning or something like that when we're getting all these downpours, because it's just, we've had a massive amount of rain, so you can't even walk around without like sliding away. So it's kind of sketchy walking and stuff. But I'm gonna get going, so that way I can get the car loaded, so we can get going to the market and get this video uploaded. But yeah, if you guys have any kind words of encouragement, or anything, leave it in the comment section. If you're enjoying our content, please give our videos a thumbs up, share it with your friends on social media, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to help us grow. That would definitely take some weight off of our shoulders if we started being able to get more subscribers, and having different business ventures start growing in different ways and stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.